I mean, I've got several. Please help me.
Billie, let's get to this crying part. Tell us more about Sophie and who she is.
Well, if I'm honest, I probably know as much as everyone else because we don't know much about her backstory, do we? But we know that she is a very strong woman, that she has made peace with what is about to happen. We know that her and Gustav are not together anymore, but we don't quite know what happened when they broke up, how long they were together for. I don't want to give too much away if anyone hasn't played. But she feels very stoic and very, which is not me. I would be panicking, running away, don't know what's going on. Yeah, she feels very measured. And I think trying to bring that measured energy was something that I tried really hard to do, to just bring a serene calmness to her.
Otherwise has a fairly serious tone, would you say?
It's fairly bleak.
How did you work on balancing comedy and seriousness in that performance?
Well, I mean, I know it's a cliche to say it, but it really was all in the writing. But the thing with Minoko is that, he obviously is comic relief at first, but then, we find out, he's got a lot of depth to him. And when you've beaten the game, of course, you understand more about him, why he has that loyalty with Verso. But I mean, to be honest, when I did the audition for Minoko and the script, I was sent the scene where he's recruited, the whole, oh yeah, there will be a lot of fighting, count me in then. That scene, that was my audition, and I kind of thought, I didn't want to overplay this humour or whatever. I was just going to do it serious or a bit deadpan or throwaway. And I don't know, that's kind of my, knowing who Minoko really is, and that, he is, maybe doesn't necessarily think about things too deeply. Just kind of going with my instincts, I think was the important thing. They kind of, they let us go with our instincts, really, and most of the stuff was first take, really. They just kind of liked it. For most of the actors, I think, because we understood the characters, and even the line like, please help me, or, everything else. It just kind of came out, really, because I understood the character quite well and didn't overthink it.
And existence, how did those themes resonate with you personally?
Well, I am aging, and that was easy to get my head around. We were talking about breakfast, weren't we? In my 40s now, life is changing, and I think myself as an actor, I don't think I would have been able to bring as much to Sophie as I did, which was also the writing, the vocab, all of it, but like 10 years ago. I think life experience is really important. And, I am aging, I do have children, I have gone through losses, I'm sure.
You don't look it, Billie.
There we go. Makeup. So I think Sophie was pretty much the first ever British human I've ever played. I'm always creatures and demons and children and animals, which I love, and all the accents. And it was really freeing, I think, like Rich was saying, they gave us the freedom to kind of be us and play around with it. And I think a lot of Sophie is me, and we both knew the director before we worked on this game, and I'm sure she was instrumental in getting certain people the auditions, and she maybe had heard something. And I just think all of the heartbreak that Sophie is going through, like you were saying with your kids, you can imagine it and seeing it in Lumiere, and I just feel really honoured to have been able to portray her. And like we said, Jennifer Stedbergen's writing was out of this world, and there's so much in what isn't said. So I think, life is hard, right? Like I feel so bad at the beginning of so, but then we get Minoko and we get the light relief.
But how was the rest of your day after recording the scene?
So I don't know if any of you know Guillaume, the creative director, but he's a creative genius. I think we can attest to that. And he and Jennifer Svedberg-Yang and the director were in the control room, and I was like a mess. You know, I was a bright red, snotty, like it had been an emotional couple of hours. And Guillaume was like, so shall we take the photo? Come out here, we take the photo now? And I was like, okay. So there's this photo which funnily has never seen the light of day of me, an absolute mess. And then I went to pick the kids up from school.
Yeah.
So, good.
Yeah, extra good hugs that day. Yeah.
But I think as an actor it's important to be able to turn that off, right?
Yeah.
We have to be vulnerable and tap into something, but we also have to be safe.
Yeah.
So as humans we need to look after ourselves.
And I've heard that when you were recording your first, when you had your first session in the booth, the fire alarm went off?
Ah, yes, that story. Yeah, this was my first experience of motion capture, my first session on the game, and I arrived at the studio, and they said, look, put your clothes, put your kit in the locker here. I thought, what, we're back at school? Put this very becoming Velcro, these Velcro pajamas on, which then become studded with light sensors. Put a skull cap on. You know, you do feel very self-conscious because you don't look good. But they create a little avatar of you on the screen that does look good. It looks like a Power Ranger. Oh, this is good. I'm really, you know, I'm going home in this. But you really don't. And anyway, they sort of set everything up, they create the avatar, make sure the avatar's behaving, make sure the actor's behaving, and everything, you know, the sound, you're wired for sound. All set to go, day one, session one, and the fire alarm goes. Everybody had to evacuate the building. I said, what, like this? Oh, yeah, come on! Fire alarm! So, there I was on the Croydon High Street, in the drizzle of a Monday morning, and I'm wearing these Velcro pajamas. People are wandering up and down the high street saying, oh, I've seen those in M&S, I'm a scout. But I'm happy to say there was no fire, only in the 9 hells. In fact, a studio technician later owned up to having set the fire alarm going. Okay. I said, don't worry about it, don't worry, it's going to be a good story.
Yeah, and it did.
Croydon High Street is not the nicest of high streets to be.
Rich. How can you say?
Is it a dodgy part?
It's not.
A little dodgy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
Yes,
an elementary school?
Oh, shots fired over here. Right? Did you translate that idea, like of taking something from everyone he meets? Did you translate that into your performance in any way? Did you change anything?
Not really.
Oh, that's fine.
Making, but you want to ask that question?
I suppose. I don't know really. I mean, it just sort of. It was a very instinctual. Is that a word? Instinctual? Instinctive? Instinctivate? Instinctication.
Yeah.
Was what I really used. Yeah, I don't know. It was all in the writing, and I kind of, a few sessions in, I was kind of so into the character that it just did become quite easy without sounding like a wanker. But it's just because it's so, you know, yeah, it was a very easy character to play because it was such a safe sort of space in the sessions.
Yeah.
I didn't really have to overthink it.
Yeah. Let's talk about fan reactions instead.
Yeah, I just want to firstly just point out the elephant in the room. You two look uncanny. Yeah, you're the same.
Separated at birth.
my mother was in Croydon somewhere in the 80s, 70s, 80s.
Late 70s,
Like if you ever get time, he can step in and do some autographs later. He loves food as well. I found out one thing about you, Andrew, and it gave me an intense blast of nostalgia and joy. Because I found out that you were one of the first voice actors in games in general. You voiced Broken Sword, right?
The original Broken Sword, that is absolutely right.
That is,
That is video games history right there.
Don't ask me the character, I have no idea. It all started there in a studio in South London, not Croydon. A lot of radio actors arrived at this studio and put voice to characters in Broken Sword.
Yeah, because I remember that game so vividly where the moment I saw that you were in it. And that was just an amazing game as well.
I think we beat Lara Croft by about 2 weeks.
All right,
So I think Lara Croft, they came out the same month.
Tomb Raider.
I think,
Yeah.
I think we just got ahead.
Okay,
Which is quite a feat when you think about it.
Feet.
Feet? Oh, that's a lovely feet.
But expanding on that, so you've been in this game for a while, but this role, Raphael, has received like massive fan response. You even won a BAFTA Games Award for Best Supporting Performance.
Yeah, he did.
I was very lucky, thank you. I have to credit, as everyone said, I have to credit the writers and everything about every other level of what came to be Baldur's Gate 3. So it was a very much a collaborative process, a very free, creative and collaborative process. And the sessions in studio were, I mean, everybody was supporting everybody else, and not every job is like that. So I do feel very lucky, very blessed with that experience. And it doesn't happen often, really.
Well, because this, both Expedition 33 and Baldur's Gate 3, like coming out in the same period, is so extremely, it's so rare that people get this intense connection with the game. And I think that is, most of you are like trained actors, you have both been in like Shakespeare Academy and stuff, right? Yeah. Rich dabbled into Shakespeare, street Shakespeare?
I've never done Shakespeare actually. But I started off kind of doing live comedy and sketch stuff.
Yeah.
That's my kind of way in.
Yeah, but the thing I wanted to say is that it goes like in the first sentence you hear in both of those games, you get there's a clear feeling of, this is proper acting. You feel the weight of every word, and as you say, the writing is meticulous, and I think people react to it the way they've done to Baldur's Gate 3 and Expedition 33 on like an unconscious level, I think, because we've played, most of us here have played like 50,000 hours of games, and we've heard a lot of shitty voice acting. And on an unconscious level, you kind of just dismiss it. You don't stop and like, this is good, this is bad. You kind of just dismiss it because it doesn't bear any weight. But like in the first 10 seconds of both those games, you're like, all right, I'm in it now, because you can feel that way. Yeah. So how important is it, do you think, to have like good, properly trained talent in roles and games?
Yeah. So I think in video game acting, I personally think it's really important to have an acting background, whether that is coming from stand-up, so you've got the experience, the timing. But I think, like you were saying, even if you get a fun character, a malicious character, those delicious ones you love to hate, there is more than likely going to be something quite emotional that will happen to that character at some point. And I think for me, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, the reason Baldur's Gate 3, like I connected to that and connected to the parts of Expedition that Sophie isn't in is there is just truth and honesty. All of the people, all of the actors are not playing characters, they are those characters, and they are not playing the emotions, they are living the emotions. And that can be fun, it can be the comedy, like you were saying, Rich, you can't play it for laughs. You have to be Monoko, and that is what makes it funny. I couldn't play sad because people would switch off. That's not real, it's not a way to connect with people. And it is hard to be so vulnerable, and I do a lot of as if, you know, I wasn't in Lumiere, I wasn't about to, you know, filmage in real life, but you can take an as if, right? Because video games are ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. So what is this as if connection to my life, right? How can I make this real? Okay, so for me personally, I met my husband when we were 8. That's a little bit similar to Sophie and Gustav, right? I met 33 years ago. How would it feel if we were about to lose each other? And even though that's heartbreaking to go to that place, I think, and what I witnessed in Baldur's Gate 3 as well, is people going to those vulnerable, heartbreaking places and putting our hearts on the line, and that is what brings that connection, I think, for the players.
It's all acting. There's no difference. All the genres of acting require all the same technique. So if you want to be a voice actor, I personally hate that term because it's all acting to me. There's no difference in approach other than technique in terms of the actor creating the role. And as Billie says, it's got to be real, it's got to be truthful, because also the directors need that, you know. Beth Park talks about it at Pit Stop Productions. She needs people who have got to work and fire their imagination instantly. There's no time to kind of spend 5 weeks looking at a script, because everything is so top secret, because games are so high tech, and you know, it's awful for a developer if secrets get out. That means that the actors don't get the script perhaps until the day before you're going to go and record, which means you need to take the director's notes, digest the script, and do it. And so if a director says, you know, I've done a lot of Warhammer, for example, I do an awful lot of Warhammer stuff, and so very often you're playing, you know, a battle sister stood at the top of a mountain commanding an army of 80 million, you know, orcs or whatever it is. And you've got to see that now. And there's a great adage in radio drama and in all acting that if I see it, you will see it. So if I believe where I am, then you will believe that through my voice. And it isn't just about working from here up, it's about the entire body. So voice acting uses all of you, whether you're in a mocap suit or not. You could just be stood with a microphone in your hand.
Yeah.
But that, as Andrew was talking about radio drama, I don't know if you have a strong audio drama scene in Norway, but in the UK it used to be very strong and it's still hanging on in there. Good old BBC dramas, but you have to have an incredible imagination to do those. But also there's something beautiful about just audio drama, like in games, is the most powerful next to theatre, in my opinion. Because exactly, because all of these people here are a blank canvas that I can paint on in any way I like. I can take you with just me and this to any space, time, dimension, universe, and I just need a few lines and perhaps some sound effects if we want them. And that is amazing. I don't need millions of dollars of set or, you know, makeup or special effects. And that's really powerful. And games really tap into that beautiful old radio drama way of working.
Yeah.
And long may it continue, as far as I know.
As you said,
The dwarves in? That's a big question.
I mean, I'm happy to do anything. You know, if they offer it to me, I'll probably say yes. And actually, for me, I mean, Monoko has opened doors already because I don't know if any Wuthering Waves fans, but I play a character called Fenrico, which I basically got because when I was doing Expedition, they kind of put my name around places, and I started to get a lot more auditions. So it's kind of already happened. But I mean, actually, I did do a role in a game which is pretty cool. It's coming out next year, which is I think
NDA, Rich.
Is this a teaser?
crazy NDA. Go on, too
Very
cool.
hard, Rick. Yeah, but be ready. It's a good one.
You did not hear it first.
What about you?
It's a weird one. I would love to do some kind of like Marvel, mad. Like I'm always booked for like an American accent, and like being a British character is super fun. But like I love that whole world. So yeah, like I love the I don't know, something like actiony and really different, and yeah, it'd be so fun.